22,000 people in New Zealand who are in residential care in 700 different facilities. So the changing of the rules that's happening in this bill obviously affects quite a number of people, and there would have been a lot of people and their families who would have been interested in contributing to the bill through making submissions. As a new member of this House, being at Select Committee, hearing the submissions, hearing the expertise that members of the public contribute is an incredible contribution to the lawmaking process. By having this bill go through under urgency with no opportunity for people to have their say, it's meaning we're making bad law. And Mr Speaker, I think the government has been deaf to a lot of the concerns that have been raised on this side of the House. There has been a theme of the need for collaboration. In areas as contested as water, we've had a collaborative process through the Land and Water Forum. Here we are dealing with the way people are looked after, our senior citizens who've contributed taxes for all of their lives, how they're looked after in the twilight of their lives. We need to have a cross-party solution here, a lasting solution, not one that's going to be tossed out with the next government. That's why Labour and the Greens, working with Grey Power, had an inquiry into aged care. That's why we want to work on something that works well for everyone and that endures. But this bill, sneaked through under urgency with no public process, won't do that. And Mr Speaker, it's been really puzzling listening to the government. If you read the regulatory impact statement, that makes it clear what the motive for the bill is, and I quote, "Increasing the asset threshold by the CPI rather than by $10,000 would reduce the number of residents eligible for the subsidy and thereby reduce the amount of residential care subsidy paid." End quote. Mr Speaker, the reason for this bill is to cut the number of people who can access that care. It is miserly in comparison to the overall $870 million that is spent by the district health boards on subsidising residential care. So it's tinkering, as my colleague Mr Clark noted, it's tinkering about the edges. Why are we doing this? Why is the government doing this? Except to penalise a few people, to cause enormous uncertainty, insecurity and grief amongst older citizens, to make this small saving out of an $870 million budget. It discriminates against older citizens. It's bad process because it's being done under urgency. It is not good law and it discriminates. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
I call